Hey everyone, and welcome back to my playthrough of the BG Saga with SCS and done in a completionist style. And let's get right into the action because there's a lot to accomplish on this map in this episode. First off, let's level up Kirinai and Senashira because they've both leveled up. And as is usually the case for fighter classes, you get always a Thaco improvement of 1 and 10 hit points and +1 lore. And Kirinai's level up is going to be pretty much the same, better Thaco, and 11 hit points because she has that 15 constitution, and she didn't get any lore because of this 9 wisdom. She actually has a one-time penalty of -10 to lore, so she will actually have to wait a long while to overcome that.
Certainly.
Okay, anyway, of course on this map there is the big event, the mad cleric Bassilus, but he's not the only interesting thing on this in this area. And there's another potentially nasty fight and some unique conversations to do.
Yes?
So here's the first one around here. Yeah. So here's Kisik, under the impression that he is going mad. Calm down, what is this madness of which you speak? I have been a rural merchant all my life, and am thereby no stranger to poultry of any shade or color. But there be a fiendish hand to the east that, when I picked her up, spoke to me in a voice most human. Either I am in the chill grips of the deepest fever, or that chicken be possessed by a spirit from the very depths of the 9th and final hell. So he's of course referring to our friend Melicamp, the chicken that we've already met. And now let's head down here. Oh, there's a ghast. So let's switch to some ranged weapons and dispose of him. Oh, there's also some hobgoblins. Whoa, let us use some sleep on them. There it goes. Well, didn't go too well. We have plenty of sleep. Let's use that just to be sure. Alright, let's... Not you. Oh, and here's the group of uniquely named hobgoblins. They're much tougher, and actually, at least one of them, I think Malcax over here, has arrows of biting that can poison our guys. And Zargal is their leader here. Of course, they're bandits. They want us to surrender all of our valuables. And this is a classic Baldur's Gate 1 line. Time to die, you ugly knobgoblins. Zargal, strongest one there is. Well, we'll see about that, Zargal. Let's use some more sleeps, I guess. This is kind of a mess when it comes to using sleep, but, you know, this wand, I pretty much never use the 20 charges on it. So, and this group, like I said... Oh, there's also... Okay, there's Geltic, Zargal, and Malcax. That's the group. Oh, wow. They are actually pretty resilient to my sleep spells. Alright, now this is much better. Now we can just do some cleanup. Alright. I used a little bit more resources than I wanted here, but there was also a ghast, some normal hobgoblins, and of course this group is nearby, and because of SCS has this component, Better Calls for Help, where basically nearby hostile creatures will, basically come to investigate what's going on, pretty much, or, you know, the different characters from different groups can, like, call for help. That's basically to eliminate that kind of strategy that you could do in the classics, where you could kind of pick one out of the group that would be barely in your vision, and you could just kind of, you know, pull them separately. It doesn't work like that in SCS. You really have to take the whole group on, and you can't be so selective. So of course they were nearby, so they came here to investigate what was going on. Alright, let's inspect our loot here. We have... Let's just have these arrows here. I'm going to give these composite longbows to Kivin, and we're going to talk about them in a second. So here's a short sword +2, which is a notable weapon. Well, not much more to say about that. Pretty good short sword, considering that it has a +2 enchantment. And now we also managed to loot 2 composite longbows, so to highlight the difference between them and a regular longbow, is that, as you can see, a normal longbow just provides you with a +1 THAC0 bonus. But a composite longbow, on top of that, aside from that +1 THAC0, also gives you a +2 damage bonus, which is very, very nice. Of course, it requires 18 strength from the wielder, which Kivin has, so he's able to satisfy that requirement, and now he's doing 5 to 10 damage instead of 3 to 8. So that is very nice. Alright, we're done with this encounter. Now for the main deal here. Bassilus. But first we're going to have another unique conversation with a boy named Footy. So here's Footy. Shh! I'm spying on Bassilus and his spooks. They're funny. So of course you can ask more about them, but even if you select this option, he will still give you some hints. This is no place for a child. Return home to Baragos at once and run every step of the way. I ain't got no home to go to there, not since Mom and Johnny disappeared. I've been looking for them, but all I can ever find is these spooks. One of them's wearing Johnny's knickers, though, but I don't want to think of where it got him. Be careful you don't scare Bassilus, okay? So yeah, it seems like Johnny and his Footy's mom actually met a very unfortunate fate at the hands of Bassilus, because those spooks he tells of are actually skeletons and zombies. So it seems like Mom and Johnny are no longer among the living. Sometimes there's a spawn point for some skeletons here, so I just wanted to check so they don't interfere with this fight. And there's a lot to be said when it comes to Bassilus. Basically, he's a level 12 Cleric. He's been buffed up by SCS. He's going to have quite a few buffs, and I'm going to focus on a ranged approach. And I'm going to also split up my forces, because the first thing he's going to cast pretty much is always Hold Person, and his spells, you know, it's kind of weird. There's kind of supposed to be untouched, I think, some of them from the classic Baldur's Gate implementation, where it would be pretty much impossible to interrupt his spells, especially that first Hold Person, but I was able to do that, so I'm not really sure. Well, let's first heal Jaheira up. Well, one more. That's, yeah, 4 hit points. And then we're going to cast Bless to give ourselves a little performance boost in this fight. And basically I'm going to split up everyone. You're going to go approach from the east, you're going to approach from the north, and Sinashira and Jaheira are going to be occupying this entrance, and there are skeletons! Now they spawned, and now they're going to ruin everything. Because they're attacking Nira. Oh, this is really bad. My Bless is going to run out, because Bless is not a spell that lasts for a long while. It just lasts 1 turn. 10 rounds, so just a minute of real time. Alright, he's just a melee skeleton. There's a couple of types of them that can spawn, like there can be dart throwing skeletons, some archers that can be really dangerous. You know what, so okay, Sinashira and Jaheira are gonna approach from here. You go north, and you stay here.
As you direct, I am here.
And I still haven't finished this sentence, I think. I'm going to split up because I don't want to get hit too much by these AoE spells like Hold Person that Bassilus has. I want to minimize their negative effects. So let us approach Bassilus.
Oh, Brother Therm, why not grace our ears with a ripping tale of the old days? Always a delight.
There's, you know, this little bit of uncovered, unrevealed terrain here. There's a zombie here. But apparently Brother Therm here is not really willing to speak. Oh, don't hesitate on my account. Some of the others may not have heard them. He's like, ooh, I guess. Hold your peace then, though I remember a time back at Xanthal Keep when you would sooner die than be quiet. You would sooner... well, I'll wait till you feel like telling them yourself. I don't remember the old days so well. So as you can see, he's not quite right in the head. It seems like there was a traumatic event that kind of unhinged him. You there, what is the meaning of this? Who dares interrupt while I speak with my family? I'll have your heads if you're here to harm the... No, it cannot be. Is that you, Mother? It cannot be otherwise. You haven't changed a bit in all these years. So, yeah. We can play along here, or we can just, you know, be pretty hostile. And basically, depending on how you do this conversation, you will either have to face Bassilus and all of his spooks, the skeletons and zombies, or if you play along here, these skeletons and zombies are actually going to die all on their own, and Bassilus is going to be pretty much left alone. So this is a much easier fight that way. So let's say, yes, son, it certainly has been a long time. How are you doing, my boy? About as well as can be expected, I guess. It has been difficult, but I've got most of the family back together. Some did not seem to recognize me at first, but I helped them recall. Okay, yeah, surely by turning them undead, I guess. No matter, I've not seen you since, Zental Keep. Thank the gods we all got out safely. Yes, though it was frightening for a time, because I thought I was the only one of us that survived. I thought I was the only one who... the only one. You lie. You lie! You cannot be my mother, because she died when I left the... It is not I who lies, but you to yourself. You rob others of their loved ones to replace those you betrayed long ago. No! They lived, all of them. I saved them and they live. I ran. Dead. All dead. It isn't true. It cannot be. You lie. You will die for slighting my memory. So, Jaheira points out that, you know, he was an evil cleric to begin with, I guess, and these traumatic events, like, brought him even further into despair, I guess, so... You will see Cleric's glory when you rejoin the family, my lost sister. Yeah, let's approach here. Approach from here. We certainly want to use that wand of lightning here. Let's try to interrupt him. Oh yeah. As you can see, he has the SCS buffs. He has remove fear, so he is immune to fear. He has bless for a little bit of a combat boost as well. He has armor of faith to give himself a little bit of physical damage resistance. Then he has defensive harmony, which improves his armor class, and he has free action to not be vulnerable to, like, a hold person of our own, for example, or an entangle, or a web, these types of effects. And so let's see if we can interrupt him. Okay, this dealt 25 damage. It was pretty okay, and we did interrupt him. Okay, nice. Now we just need your damage, Kiranai. And these guys actually became hostile because that lightning bolt, I think... Oh yeah, actually Bassilus saved versus wand, and he only received 7 damage, and it was the zombie who died. So yeah, but they are going to die on their own. It's just going to take a little bit of time, because SCS does that they don't die immediately. It actually takes them a little bit of time.
Your concern? Certainly.
Yes.
Right, he seems to be going for Nira.
What is my turn to save the day?
Let's use another. Oh, you ran out of knives. That is not good. Alright, another spell casting failure. And this was some better damage. He didn't have a saving throw against wands this time. Why are you not throwing? Kiranai is getting damaged. Senashira is getting damaged. Alright, we have to switch to some melee weapons to deal with this. And Kiranai is just going to gulp a potion. Nira is going to keep running. Alright, now he wants to heal. We need to interrupt him, dude.
I am here, indeed.
Your life should be mine.
Oh, come on! Oh! So close! I think he was casting a full heal. Because he's level 12, he sure has access to the level 6 spell heal, and I think SCS gives him that. But Kiranai has had this crit for 17 just as the spell was finishing, so he wow, that was pretty close. I've definitely had worse and much better fights with Bassilus, I have to say, but this was a very okay, I think. All right, cool. We're going to loot him in a second. First, we're going to loot a lot of these non-magical mundane weapons because they actually sell for quite a bit. And now, Kivin, this is of course the BG1 NPC reaction of his. Are we so different, this man and I? He cherishes zombies as his family, and I walk the material plane with my thoughts ever turning to the one in Arvenaith. How long will it be until my longing creates a ghost of the Haryana? The Haryana is the one close person that he told us about when we recruited him, that he lost at the hands of Tazok, and she was his wife. How long it will be until I accompany it and terrify people of sanity? Senashira, we should find Tazok soon. My time here grows short. I like this reaction. This one is good. This one is something that I would expect Given to say. Let's just give him some of these crossbows. Actually, these halberds, you know, they only sell for 2 gold. I'm not sure what I was doing, picking more of them up. Might give 1 spare to Kivin if he goes into melee. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to be pretty quick with looting those because they actually sell for quite a bit of money, and we of course want to sell them in bulk. If you remember from, I think, last episode or 2 episodes ago, and just so we can have a 1 big pack or a group of these items that we can sell at full price before they kind of depreciate in value. Alright, I'm not gonna loot more. Now let's loot the man himself and inspect what he had. So he had a potion of invulnerability and necklace. Now here is his holy symbol that is needed for the quest to receive the 5,000 gold reward from the Temple of Lathander. Here, those are cursed gauntlets of fumbling, I think they're called. I'm going to identify them at some point. And this one, this is the main thing. This is our prize for Senashira. This is actually a hammer, Warhammer +2. It's called Ashidina, and it's enchanted +2, and it also deals 1 electricity damage on hit. So this is a very good weapon. As you can see, her main hand Thaco from 16 is going to go down to 14. Her damage now is 10 to 13. And of course that electricity damage, which is very, very nice to have, especially when you're battling mages with Stone Skin on, for example, because Stone Skin, of course, is going to eat up that physical portion of damage that we're dealing, but the electricity damage is still going to go through and potentially interrupt a mage trying to cast something.
Your concern?
Senashira shouldn't really be in the front, since we have these hobgoblin elites here. Unfortunately, we didn't pay the price for engaging him like that. It should be Jaheira going on in front. I don't think there's anyone else in this area, but let me just like double check if there isn't a conversation, because also in this episode potentially I'm going to show a conversation that I missed in one of the previous areas. The one south of Beregost, we of course didn't talk with Bob Snikt, and I'm going to showcase that. I think this is pretty much it, but I'm never too sure. Skill this bear. Senashira shouldn't really be exploring like that, but
Yep, I've done had enough of this. I'll do it.
of course this is a mess. This cave bear is going to give us some good experience, I think. Yeah, 650.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think this is it.
I am here. It is done. Your certainly.
Yes,
omnipresent authority. It is done. I am here. Indeed.
Yep.
Your concern?
Alright, now I'm going to just teleport here so we can discover these 2 coastal areas, the lighthouse and the last one. Now I'm going to go north to High Hedge. Oh, a ghast ambushes us.
I'll do it.
That's just... No, I shouldn't be engaging him in melee.
I am here.
Okay, another 650 experience, and
Your concern?
it seems Imoen leveled up again. That's pretty nice. We're going to level her up in a little bit. Basically what I was about to say, that we might have to reload from that autosave, because here there's going to be an event with Melicamp. We of course want to turn him back into a human from his chicken state. But this spell, that's called an Antichickenator, by the way. I'm just going to show these flesh golems here, by the way. This Antichickenator spell can actually fail, and Melicamp can die as a result of all that. And we don't want that, because we get less experience for it, and we don't get the +1 reputation for it, and it's just a really bad outcome that just has some chance of occurring. So we don't want that. We don't want the story to end on a sad note. So I might have to reload, because even if you quick save here, I don't think it affects anything. I think that Antichickenator spell, from my tests, maybe I was just unlucky, but I think it seems like when the area loads now, it somehow loads that outcome. Anyway, stuck with Thalanter. Well, it's rather amusing, actually. You see, I happened to rescue this talking chicken. Chickens do not talk, so quite obviously it is a polymorphed being of some kind. Spells such as that wear off in time, or can be dispelled. It is a simple matter, and one not worth the waste of my day. Keep moving. So of course you can be more or less rude, but I'm going to choose this one. I am quite aware of the mute status of chickens, thank you very much. Yes, this is a transformed man, but it is also a man who claims to be your apprentice. This is why I brought him here. Apprentice? I've had no apprentice. I teach no one about what I... Wait. Melicamp? Melicamp, is that you? So now he appears. Yes, Master Thalanter, it is I. And I'm not going to do the sound effects like... or whatever. I am no master to you, and you are no apprentice. What gall you have to expect help from me. He is not your student, but you do know of him, do you not? A student wishes to learn, while this fool wishes only to have knowledge. I will tutor no one who does not understand the ramifications of what I have to teach. Not getting the quick gratification he wished, he instead chose to steal from me. You speak of so much, but show so little. I only wish to learn a fraction of the power you possess. So isn't that a classic story of someone that wants to just take a shortcut? Wants the power a little bit too much, or wants it a little bit too quickly. It has taken me some 50-odd years of life to gain the power I wield, and the will not to use it. You are but a baby in comparison. Frankly, I'm surprised you change into such an old chicken. How did you manage that, by the by? You were modeling the simplest cantrip when last I observed you. I have progressed much since then, and I borrowed a few items to speed the process. As I thought. Well, it's obvious you can steal my tools, but not my understanding of them. Hold still while I dispel this foolish facade. Can't very well get my property back while it's polymorphed into... Wait a moment. I did not possess any items that allowed the casting of that enchantment. Wait. Oh dear. Melicamp, listen very carefully. What did you take? So this is getting complicated. Nothing too valuable, I swear. Just some components, a few scrolls, a beat-up pair of bracers, a blank spellbook, some parchment, a pair of... Oh no, you little fool! The bracers in my locked and trapped safe? I certainly hope you can develop the taste for chicken feed, because you are going to be stuck the way you are for a very long time. I know I stole from you, but you can't leave me like this. Please, Master Thalanter, please. It's not a matter of whether I wish to help or not, simply that I do not have the power to undo what you have done. Yeah, this is getting serious now. Is there nothing that can be done? I'm willing to help however I can. If you are willing, then I will do what must be done. We will need a component that I do not have on hand, and it will be your job to get it. I will require the head of an undead creature, and a simple skeleton skull will do. Bring it back here, and I will try to bend a few magical rules to reincarnate this foolish boy. So we already have the skull, of course. Reincarnate? But does that spell not require the recipient to be dead? There must be a dead element, yes. That is what the skull is for. I cannot fully explain what I am to try, but it's something of a reversal on the reincarnation scheme. The age of the enchantment that changed you may allow for a loophole in the laws of magic. Of course, it may just kill us both in the casting. Such is life. Off you go to some dungeon or another. Return with the skull. Go. Alright, so we have the skull.
Why do I live in such a pissant town?
Hello again, my young adventurers. I see you have the needed component. Well, shall we see if our young man regains his life, or if he'll eventually be someone's festival dinner? Well, let's see if this Antichickenator works. And it did. Whew. Nice, we won't have to repeat this to receive the good ending. And that, as they say, is that. I have arms and hands and feet and... Oh, thank you, Master Thalanter. Thank you. Yes, yes, boy, now be quiet a moment. Blast it. The braces are no longer on him. It is as I feared. Likely they either spent what magic they had in a single charge, or it is their wont to be whisked away after inflicting the damage they do. I had hoped to seal them away, but now it's certain they will fall into the hands of some other unfortunate fool. Tell me, Melicamp, do you quite feel yourself again? So this is, of course, kind of a... You know, the lesson we learned here is to not... to be careful with unidentified items, I guess, because some of them might be cursed, and of course their consequences of using them might be quite severe. I think so. Good. Though it was the greatest of luck you did not retain a wing for a limb. You always were a bit cockeyed, but I suppose that doesn't count. I suggest you remain here, however, so that I might keep an eye on you. If you insist on playing with the forces of magic, at least I should see that you understand them. Perhaps you will be a touch more cautious now that you have experienced what can go wrong. I suppose your master I must be. And you, Sinashira, I trust you will be cautious in your travels as well. I wish you intelligence on your journeys. I would wish you luck, but it runs out much quicker than you would think. Good day. So we get 2,000 experience, plus 1 to party reputation. So we are at 17 already. And yeah, so that's the good ending for Melicamp.
Good on you if you save the day.
I have a lot to learn, but at least I live to learn it. Yep. You know what, Thalanter? Let's see what you had there. Can we buy something at a reasonable price? This Wand of Fear actually in SCS is not all that great, because a lot of groups that have a Cleric will always come pre-buffed with Remove Fear. So in SCS this wand loses a lot, well, quite a bit of its awesomeness. And we actually don't have... well, Jaheira could use it. Should I buy it? It is a good wand, and we can get one for free, but that's only in the bandit camp, and that's not going to be in a while. Let's get it. I am a big fan of getting a lot of consumable and usable items like that. My general stance when it comes to spending money is that it's way better to buy something like that, or potions or spell scrolls, because when you think about it, I think a lot of people spend thousands of gold to buy a weapon that has, you know, like a slightly higher enchantment. For example, to upgrade from a +1 weapon to a +2, they will spend a lot of money. But this isn't going to really make a big difference in a fight. What is going to make a difference is, you know, having access to a powerful spell, or having a powerful potion or a wand that can, you know, cast something good in a fight that's going to turn the tide of battle. So yeah, this wand is actually pretty cheap as well, because, you know, we have 20 charisma, so we already have the maximum discount coming from that, and we already have 17 reputation, so almost the max. We are already getting some discounts from that. Alright, we're going to go quickly to Baragost to sell some stuff and to rest here. And Jaheira is probably going to start nagging again about going to Nashkel. And actually, after we do this, we sell some of our stuff and go rest, we are going to set out south and go to Nashkel finally. So here we can see 25 gold for all of these two-handed swords. So I'm going to just leave one as a spare for Minsk. 200 gold for just some mundane weapons. And these ones are worth 17. So we can sell those. This is a spare halberd. Yeah, composite longbow for 35. Alright. Let's sell all that. And that's pretty much it. Oh, we had one more heavy crossbow here. Alright. That's it.
It is done.
Now let's go to the Red Sheaf to return the short sword to Perdu.
It is done.
Casting spells isn't as easy as I make it look. I'm tired.
Silencio, Nira. Alright, so we get 50 gold and 500 experience, which is actually pretty nice. I actually should have removed Nira, I think, before all these rewards. We would, before Melicamp and before this one, we would have 2,500 experience, and she wouldn't be leeching this experience from us, because I am going to remove her very soon anyway. So I probably should have removed her. Well, I can do some identifying in Nashkel with her, I guess. Anyway, let's just level up Imoen. She's a thief, and thieves level up very quickly, so that's why she's already level 3. So she gets a nice Thaco reduction, 25 skill points of course, 8 hit points, and lore by 3. So let's go all into open locks, and now that she is at 75, she will be able to open the majority of locks out there. Anyway, this is about a half an hour, so I will end this episode here. I'll see you in the next one, and thank you for watching.